Nigerian man almost cooked wife with boiled water. Marriage is not a do or die affair. It is not a race. It is not a marathon competition, my beloved brothers and sisters. If you know the waka, leave and make it go before it carry your head go. You see, nowadays, people do get married without even falling in love. Oh, I can remember those our childhood days, even the days of our parents, where you can date a woman for years without even seeing her pants. We used to even fight over our girlfriends that we have not even proposed to. You see, talk less of even seeing the pants. The woman I can say I dated those days, I never saw her pants, but I was contented. She even used to come and cook for my parents and even used to spend some weeks in our family house. You see, on the contrary, nowadays, someone once said the reason marriage is so difficult today and many divorce cases is when sex became very cheap and the coming of the social media. Instead of packaging character, women now do package sex or niash. You see, you find couples living together. I call it cohabiting, yet no memorialing, nothing to write home about, no sweet story to tell, because the reasons by which people do get married nowadays are visual and selfish. Someone will say, my family or parents are pushing me or are putting me under pressure.
Go and marry, go and marry. I didn't know that I will fall into a wrong hand.
To get married. Some say their parents want grandchildren. Some, most especially men, will say they need a woman to take care of their house and give birth to children. Some is their jobs, because if they get married, they will have financial incentives from their workplaces or financial increment. Some is to belong to the clique or clan of married people. To some, time is passing. Some, they need someone to help them run their businesses. Some is sex pressure and etc. My uncle has always told me that it is better to be happy and single than to be sadly or badly mingled. All of these reasons are not bad, but it shouldn't be the unique and principal or pivotal reason for you getting married, because all of these reasons cannot sustain the marriage. I see them as indirect reasons or secondary reasons. You see, let's watch a video of a Nigerian Yoruba woman that was mercilessly and severely burned with hot and boiled water by her heartless, contemptible, hateful, and nefarious husband in Nigeria. Thereafter, I will give the divine and scriptural reasons why people should get married. Thank you very much. Let's watch the video, please. But remember, it is so pathetic, emotional, and heartbreaking. Let's watch. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much for watching. You see, somebody from where I collected the video by name Gift Emmanuel said the woman said in Yoruba that she was warned, but it's the love for her children that kept her in the marriage. She was warned earlier before to quit the marriage, but it was because for the love of her children that made her to stay in the marriage. That was a comment of Gift Emmanuel on the original post where I saw on Facebook. You see, if she had left the marriage before now, they would tag her single mother and call her all manner of names. They are the same people throwing stones at May Edochie for running for her sanity and dear life. You see, once you notice fights in your marriage in several occasions, my sister, quit that marriage. Just quit. Where are the men now condemning single mothers? You now see why we have many single mothers out there, because these men ain't treating them right. You see, women, you have to study the man carefully and deeply before accepting marrying him. Forget about the wealth and every other thing. Study the man's character is very important before getting married to any man, because your peace of mind is your life, and marriage should not be a contrary to that. Those are the things that some women are passing through in the hands of their husbands or in their marriages. Marriage is actually not for everyone in this life. You see, if you are not satisfied with her, my dear brother, why not send her back to her father's house instead of taking the laws into your hand, destroying the body of this lady, this woman? Please, women, don't rush into any marriage you don't know, because the end of the day, instead of the dog wagging its tail, the tail will be wagging the dog, like what we are seeing in this situation. Marriage was meant to enjoy, not to endure. Isaiah chapter 6 verse 22 says, "When time is right, I, the Most High, will make it happen." And Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 says, "He makes everything beautiful in its time." So why in the haste? Why are you in the haste or in the rush? Please, marriage is not a race. Wait for the right time. The right time means the right mind and the right man. Because before you look for a wife or wait for a husband, you need to first of all become a husband or a wife. Most of us want to get married, yet we are not ready to leave our mothers and fathers' houses. They keep deciding on how we should run and keep our marriages. External and family influences have destroyed many marriages. Boys and girls, mommies, sons and daughters do get married nowadays. What do they expect in the end of the day? Right from the garden, that same external voice is still the same voice that is destroying many marriages nowadays. It's a pity that we have not yet realized the tactics of the enemy. Like the Bible says in John 10:10, that the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Somebody also commented on the original post of this video by name Tosan Edi Oyomon, said, when she left an abusive relationship years ago, they called her names. That even now that she is happily married, they still call her names. They still talk a lot of bad things about her. You see, if she had stayed and died, they would have still called her names or called her foolish. So no matter what you do, people will still talk. But rather, let them talk at your convenience and comfort and at the right thing. Please, let me make this clear and known, most especially to those living in Africa, the women in particular. I am saying this because a Ugandan woman contacted me a few days ago and tabled her complaints against her husband that brought her from Africa. You see, ladies in Africa, please, it is not every man that comes to Africa to get married to you. You need to accept. Some of them you see with their passport are useless and frustrated in Europe. If they had the opportunity to get married in Europe, they would. You know why some of them have had 3, 4, and even 5 kids with different women? And their lives have already been destroyed by these women in Europe. And most often, these men are the cause. So they are coming to Africa to get married to you as a result of frustration. That's why you discover sometimes they become very bitter, aggressive, arrogant towards you. It is as a result of frustration. Their lives have been destroyed in Europe. So they being aggressive and abusive, they are just pouring out their frustration on you. And some of them have accrued debt in the system or the banks. So they bringing you to Europe is to help them pay these bills and help them also heal from these emotional wounds and trauma. That's why they will always put an eye on every, benefit that the child receives from the government. Please, women in Africa, if a man comes from Europe to get married to you, you have to ask these pertinent questions. How many kids do you have in Europe? How long have you lived in Europe? What is your debt situation in Europe, etc. Before you even say yes to the person. I know that poverty will even blind your eyes from saying some of these things, or even make your ears become deaf from even hearing some of these things. Poverty will even make you overlook every weakness. So if you are coming to Europe, you should be aware of these challenges you are coming to face. They shouldn't take you unaware or as a surprise.